Frederick, Maryland is booming with new developments, and in this video, I'm going to cover the projects that you should know about coming in 2025 and beyond, as well as some updates to major developments that I spoke about earlier this year. And some of these developments are well received by residents, while others are not. So I'm going to give you what you need to know about each of these projects, so let's just dive right into it. Hey everyone, my name is Eddie, and I'm a realtor here in Maryland, and if this is your first time visiting the channel, thank you for being here. I've made it my mission to help people just like you determine the best places to move in Maryland, and I'm here for when that time comes to represent you. And one of my favorite things to do is help people move to Frederick. And after over 100 videos that I've made, you will probably notice that a majority of them are focused on Frederick because it's my favorite city in the entire state. So in this video, I'm excited to cover these updates because it is so important if you're considering moving here to know what the future of a city looks like. And we're going to kick it off with the largest development to talk about in the entire city, which I've spoken about before, and that's the Brickworks development. And this development has been a hot topic discussion in Frederick, and it's a massive proposed project on the 64-acre former Brickworks site at East Street and South Street. And this plan outlined 1,260 residential units and 130,000 square feet of commercial area and a potential future hotel. And the developers want to create a future town center just like you'd see in Annapolis or Columbia. And since unveiling their plan, they've run into a ton of roadblocks with permitting, they've run into environmental issues, and now they're finally starting to get some headway on this project. And recently, the debates have been centered around the green space assigned to this community. There really just hasn't been enough in the plans, and the largest concentrated area of green space is on the west side of East Street. So that's on the other side of the roadway from this community. And the Planning Commission originally mandated a 3-acre park here, but the problem with this park is that being on the other side of the roadway, residents would have to cross 4 lanes of traffic, and for visitors to the park, there was no parking in the plans whatsoever for this park. But this month, the Planning Commission just approved the preliminary master plan for this community that upped the 3 acres of park space on the west side of East Street to 6.9 acres, bringing the total green space for this community throughout the entire area to 4.46 acres. Now, this is major progress for this community. Like I said, they've gone through a lot of headwinds to get to this point where they're talking about preliminary site plans being approved. And obviously the final site plans have to be approved. And there's a long way to go to get there. But last I brought up this topic, or last I brought up this project, they were not having much luck moving this forward. I mean, it was still a big question mark of whether or not this community was going to be coming to Frederick, and now it looks a lot like it is coming to Frederick, and this is huge. Like I said, over 1,200 residential units at the main entrance to Frederick on East Street is a big deal. So what residents are saying and have said from the very beginning is they're worried about congestion, they're worried about infrastructure, and the Planning Commission and the developer hasn't really done much to ease those concerns. And to me, what it looks like is this project has too much momentum now to stop. So regardless of the citizens' concerns, I really see the Brickworks development coming to Frederick in the very near future. Now, on to a much less controversial topic, and one that I have covered before as well, and that's the Visitation Hotel on East Church Street. And the Visitation Hotel had to overcome a ton of challenges as well on the way to their development, including a major fire that happened right in the middle of renovations. And if you aren't familiar with the details of this project from my last video, this is a boutique hotel inside of the former Visitation Academy, which is a 200-year-old building with a ton of history and was most recently used as an all-girls Catholic school. And residents have largely approved of them preserving the building's historic character while turning it into probably one of the coolest hotels in the region, in my opinion. And I told you in the past that celebrity chef Brian Voltaggio will be running the Y Oak Tavern, the restaurant inside of the hotel, and they just recently announced that the Voltaggio brothers, as a pair, will both be running the restaurant inside of the hotel. And the most exciting news about this project is that by the time you're watching this video, they are already taking reservations for the hotel. It is finally opening, and it's one of those places, whether you're staying there or not, you're going to have to go inside to check it out. But this is not the only hotel coming to downtown. There is also a massive hotel proposed for right on Carroll Creek, which is the Downtown Hotel at Carroll Creek. And the biggest news here is that they just had almost all of their design elements approved for this project, which means they are charging for it as well. And this is an interesting project because the funding is both public and private. They've received a huge grant from the state of Maryland to get this hotel going. So this project is definitely going to happen. Now, they're still predicting that there will be 183 rooms in this hotel, so way larger than the Visitation Hotel, which is going to have under 100 rooms. And it's also going to have over 20,000 feet of rentable meeting space. And this is something that Frederick desperately needs. Meeting space is hard to come by in downtown Frederick. You have to go to the southwest side of Frederick to where all the hotels are, over by the Westview shopping centers, to have any kind of conference centers and hotel conference centers and open space. And now finally, with these hotels coming in, you're going to have that right in downtown Frederick. And this new design incorporates the historic trolley building located at the corner of East Patrick and South Carroll Streets, which will be completely renovated. And this renovation will include reopening the front entrance of the building where trolleys once entered to board passengers. So pretty cool project that's going to be attached to this hotel. All right, so breaking away from residential and commercial projects for a second, one of the most exciting developments coming to Frederick is the Maryland Deaf Community Center on Northeast Street. And the biggest news here is that they just had their groundbreaking ceremony in December, and this project is well underway. And something that a lot of people don't know before moving to Frederick is that Frederick is home to a huge deaf population, and that's because it's home to the Maryland School for the Deaf. So this is going to be a really great project for those in the community, and it's also going to be the very first Maryland Deaf Community Center. So right in Frederick is going to be such a large and needed project for the deaf community, and all of the residents are happy to see this coming to the town. And they plan on providing a ton of activities for the deaf residents, which include ASL accessible activities, social events, referral services, and educational workshops and internship placements. So just when you think Frederick is all about profit and money, they finally do something like this that is totally centered around a community that's much in need in the city. And speaking of other needs for Frederick City, one of the biggest needs that I see is affordable housing. And if you go on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube and you're looking at these new development videos and these new development announcements, the top comments are always about affordable housing, always about the complaints that there's not enough of it. And I'm finally seeing projects on the radar in Frederick for affordable housing units. And the first is the newly completed Foundry Square Apartments on West South Street. And this is a 152 intergenerational apartment complex for seniors and families. They'll have 96 senior units, 56 multifamily units, and they're currently leasing 1 and 2 bedroom senior units, which are all under $1,700 a month. And you can't find anything under $1,700 a month in Frederick. So again, much needed. And the second affordable housing project is Madison on North Market, and this is yet to be built. It's on the northern end of Market Street, right where you really start to get out of town, but it's going to have 60 affordable housing units right next to Rose Hill Manor Park, and they've yet to list prices for it. But again, just like the Foundry Square Apartments, it's going to be affordable housing units well under the median rent for the area. And the third affordable housing project is the Overlooked East project. And this is going to be on East Patrick Street. And it's going to be comprised of 2 new construction buildings and the rehabilitation of a city designated historic building previously known as the Sleigh House. Now, this project will provide a total of 85 apartment homes across the 3 buildings situated on 2.6 acres in the city of Frederick. This is right on Carroll Creek, so a prime location, a great place for affordable housing to be. And as a reminder, these are just updates to projects and new projects going on in Frederick right now. This is not the complete list of all the developments going on, and I've covered those in previous videos, and all you have to do is go to my channel and search for the word development, and all of those videos will pop up for you. And also, if you are interested in the new construction communities, those projects happening all around the city, there are multiple right now building a ton of houses, especially townhouses around Frederick. And I just made a video on all of the townhouse communities around Frederick as well, and I'll link that above. So make sure to check that out if you're considering a move here. And if that's you, if you are considering a move here or anywhere across the state of Maryland in the near future, whether that's 2 months away or 2 years away, it's never too soon to hop on a call with me. And the easiest way to connect with me is to go in the description and click on the link to schedule a one-on-one consultation. We'll talk about your wants and needs, what you need for your move, and we'll get a plan together to make it go as smoothly as possible. And as always, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe so you stay up to date on all of my videos about moving to Maryland.